Hi Aries, welcome to your June 2018 tarot reading. Thank you for all your likes and subscriptions, and let's just go straight into this reading. So Uranus is now out of your sign, but it'll be back. I think it's November time that Uranus retrogrades back into Aries temporarily, and then it'll be gone and you'll probably not see it again for a very long time, if ever. So what I'm feeling for you is there's a little bit of relief and a little bit of an uncanny need for something stable and something meaningful. Aries is a very exciting sign. It's a sign that does a lot of things, does a lot of activities that maybe some people would be more scared of. Sometimes Aries can be bike racers or bungee jumpers or all that stuff. So usually Aries is pretty comfortable with chaos and excitement, but I'm sort of sensing with Uranus moving into Taurus, you may be hoping for something a little bit more stable after all the unpredictability. This may be love related and this may be work related, but I'm getting something about doubting a recent decision and doubting it massively. You're sort of like needing confirmation that you made the right choice, basically. I think a lot of you are thinking, like, it could be career related. So you might have had a career change, you might have decided to do something completely different, you might have gone back to a job, or you might have recently graduated and thought, why did I do this degree? I don't want to do this. It could also be a romantic relationship that you doubt letting go. You're not sure why you let it go, or you're not sure why it ended, and you're not sure if you were right to remain quiet or if you were right to say anything at all. So whether you're right to reach out to your person. I feel like there's doubt in a decision, which is maybe why you're here. Some of you. So off the bat, we have the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like a message is coming through from an earth sign or in work. Now it's crossed by the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like the conversation was initiated, but as this is crossing you, it didn't quite take off. This could be related to someone that you reached out to yourself or an application that you put through, but it's not yet had feedback, is what I'm thinking. You're sort of waiting for something there. Temperance is here. The Three of Wands, yeah. I feel like you've been putting out the feelers to people, or if it's new jobs, I feel like you've been putting out resumes, you've been putting out offers. I feel like you've been the initiator of some communications, correspondence that you're not quite getting back just yet. I think there has maybe been a relationship with a water sign here, possibly a Cancerian, because the Chariot just came out. You are trying to get things moving. Yeah, there's a water sign. But this can just be a romantic interest in general. Sometimes whenever it comes out as a Knight of Cups, it's not always a Scorpio, Pisces, or a Cancer. It could be somebody, for example, that is a Taurus with a Cancerian moon, or a Sagittarius with a moon in Pisces, or a rising in Pisces, that type of thing. It can be that type of energy. It's just someone that the water connects with. So it could even be something as simple as dating a lifeguard or a sailor. Something like that, something watery. That Knight of Cups energy is coming through. They may just be somebody who's incredibly romantic. Typically, I find Aries energy can be quite romantic, so it can come through as a Knight of Cups. But I do feel like this is somebody for you. Okay, so a romantic person. I feel like you've been putting out the feelers. Some of you have been very, very single, and you've been trying to put out like good vibes and thinking, oh, the right person's coming along. Where's the right person? Is there anybody romantic in the future? And then someone is going to appear this month. There's going to be a romantic offer. For those of you that are very single, there's at least going to be a date. Okay, so the Knight of Cups to me, to be honest, is a bit further on than a date. A Page of Cups would be more of a date to me. But this is more further moving energy, something that's progressed somewhat. It could be with a Pisces. It could be somebody you meet in a bar. This guy is cheersing. So there is romance coming in. Eight of Cups, Page of Wands. There's definitely communication that needs to be had here. The Nine of Pentacles is the outcome. So seeing something come to fruition, seeing something grow, and dealing with the remorse. I feel like there's an apology. So I think maybe you sent somebody an apology, or someone has sent you an apology. And you're waiting to hear back from that. Or you've recently fallen out with somebody and you're waiting to hear from them, or they're waiting to hear from you. I think there's a little bit of a delay in a conversation, and there's been delay in communications. Now, Mercury is not retrograde until July, so it's not to do with that. It's more to do with I feel like it was a situation where you didn't see eye to eye. When I'm saying temperance here, I always see the fire and the water, and I always think that this can be a falling out between a water sign and a fire sign, because fire signs and water signs very often don't approach things the same way, and it can lead to arguments, it can lead to fallouts. But in temperance, it's very balanced. You know, it's feeling that balance is such a cliche with the temperance card, but it's very much, for me, like a building of bridges between two people, or a middle ground where you can really connect. I feel like there was a common connection, but then something sort of tore you in different directions. So, you know, to go from temperance to the Three of Wands, it could have been a long distance relationship. One person could have moved. It could have been that one person wanted to see someone else at the same time. It could have been that you had options and none of them were quite the right fit. I feel like there was an indecision surrounding this relationship for one of you. And I'm thinking it may have been the other person. But there is an apology coming through here with the Five of Cups, that and it's an apology from the person that had the options. Okay, so if that was you, the apology is coming from you. If that was them, the apology is coming from them, because I can see a lot of like 333, the Empress. Some of you have been dealing with a Taurus person, because particularly if you're male, I feel like a Taurus energy is coming through in a woman, because you're hoping for this person, you're hoping to talk to this person. This is the person you want to communicate with. It could have been a wife, like an ex-wife, or it could have been the mother of your children. For women, it could be somebody that you felt understood you in a fundamentally emotionally mature way at the time, but then maybe there was discord about something else. It could have been financial, but certainly I think there seems to be someone is in the driving seat in terms of this communication, and I feel like it's the person that is not reaching out. So I feel like the person that's reaching out to have this conversation is the person who's not in control. I feel like if you're dealing with a water sign, they're very much in the driver's seat, especially if it's a Cancerian. So, but they are teetering around the periphery. If you're not hearing from them now, they're thinking you're talking to you. They just like the control. So if you've reached out to somebody and they're not responding, they like the control. They like that feeling of ignoring you. Each to their own, but some of you are definitely dealing with an earth sign, and some of you are definitely dealing with a water sign. Now, the Taurian energy that I'm getting is definitely someone who's being a little bit distant at the moment. The water sign seems to be the person that's coming in quicker. So if you're dealing with a water sign, I can see you hearing from them in the first couple of weeks of June. If you're dealing with an earth sign, you maybe towards the end of the month. If this is somebody new that you're dating, it's sort of they're in game playing mode. You know, they're in the early stages of, I want the control here, I want the power here. I'm the one that calls the shots, and I feel like somebody is using the waiting game or the ignoring game. The King of Pentacles, yes, some of you are definitely dealing with an earth sign. And this is the person that is not speaking, definitely 100%. The earth sign is the person that's keeping things quiet. They're keeping things on the down low. If they are speaking, they're being very superficial with it. They're being very hard to read. You know, one minute they're there and the next minute they sort of retreated again, and you're like, you may be dealing with a Virgo. You could be dealing with a very shy Virgo. Five of Wands, there was definitely a falling out between you and somebody else. The Ten of Swords, there may actually have been a breakup. There could have been a third party breakup with the Three of Wands here. There may have been somebody else in the picture at the same time. Yeah, Seven of Swords, somebody definitely did the dirty. Lovely. There's definitely been a little bit of deceit going on, yet there seems to be still playful games going on. So I don't know, I feel like Aries, somebody's trying to make you jealous, or you're trying to make somebody else jealous. There's definitely a lot of games going on between you and this other person, particularly with the water sign that seems to be here. They're playing games, they're up to something. It's not necessarily that they're an evil person and you should stay away from them, but they're definitely playing a little bit of games with you. 100%. The Knight of Cups and the Moon, they're hiding something. There's something about this person that's very mysterious. There's definitely something going on with these guys. Page of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. Yeah, you guys, yeah, some of you are dealing with a Virgo. You guys are giving each other the run around here from what I can see in your personal life. Whoever it is that you're interested in, if it's in the early stages, I can certainly see a lot of game playing, a lot of jealousy, a lot of manipulation, a lot of like not responding, leaving you unread, that type of thing is really what I'm getting here. And it's so frustrating. Like, I'm just looking at the cards and thinking, why is this not straightforward? And then even the Two of Swords comes out as the outcome, and you're like, well, what is the deal? This water sign, I feel like there is a degree of I feel like they seem to feel like you're playing games, and you seem to feel like they're playing games, and it's neither of you are moving forward because you don't trust each other. You don't trust the other one. I actually think, from what I can see, you really did or said something to piss off this water sign, and they're reacting. You know, they're not beginning this cycle, they're reacting to something that you've said or done. The earth sign, I feel like, is maybe somebody that has been in the picture for longer, or someone that you had been with from a while ago. And they're the person that's just not speaking. So some of you are in a situation with an earth sign, or maybe somebody who fits the earth personality, and neither of you are communicating, or you've reached out and they're not communicating because of something that went wrong between the two of you. But at the same time, with this water sign, I feel like there is a little bit of game playing on a more superficial level. I do think that there was a relationship that ended because of a third party, or ended because of competition. And this was similar for water sign. There's such an overlap in the Scorpio, Pisces, and the Aries, Leo readings at the moment that I'm just seeing there was all this, like, I don't know if everyone was just suddenly, maybe the sun came out and everyone suddenly wanted to, like, date everybody. I don't know. There seems to be third party situations flying around this month that have just happened. So yeah, I'm gonna go around this again, Aries. Let's see what's going on here. Messages for Aries. 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 Okay, so Two of Wands, you're deciding how to proceed on things, but you just don't quite have the words. The Ace of Swords is crossing you, which is not cutting to the heart of the situation, not getting to the heart of the matter, not having the conversation that you need to do, not being able to get the words off your chest, not being able to say what it is that you really want to say to this person that is just pushing you over the edge and just being so hard to get a hold of. Frustration, it seems to be coming through quite strongly for you guys in terms of this person. So water sign is definitely someone that there was a falling out. They're punishing you for something you said. What did you say, Aries? Queen of Swords, definitely something you said. Some of you have been in a relationship with an air sign that ended quite dramatically, and this may have been the third party person. You may have been juggling an air sign and somebody else. Somebody else may have been juggling you and an air sign. But there's definitely been a third party interference in the past in a relationship. So either someone is annoyed, like, I feel like maybe if we're going to go down the earth sign, water sign route, the earth sign is upset at you for cheating, or they cheated, and the water sign is upset at you for something you said. It could be either or. They're interchangeable. Always check somebody else's, if you're talking about somebody and you have them in mind, think about their moon and their rising, because it could be that element. They could have a stellium. For example, I used to deal with a Leo with a moon in Sagittarius who always came out as pentacle energy because there was a stellium in Virgo. They had Mercury, Venus, Mars, and their rising in Virgo, so they came through as a pentacle energy. But this is just the energies. This isn't necessarily sign for sign, okay? So, Aries. There's definitely been a relationship that's ended because of infidelity or lying. You know, you could have been lying about something rather than actually cheating, but there's definitely been a destructive energy. Someone's tried to get away from things. But there's still hope with this water sign. Still hope. But there's still something you don't know. So with this water sign, there's something going on where you just don't know quite where you stand with them, and you don't get them, okay? So you feel like you've been relatively straightforward. Something has been said or done, or they've seen something. Water signs are emotional creatures, and Aries don't always understand why a water sign would interpret something innocent as something not so innocent, I guess. I've dealt with that with an Aries before, where they've said something or done something, and I'm a water sign, and I've been upset with it, but not communicated the actual upset. But they maybe didn't understand why that would have been something that would have bothered me. But I sort of get that impression with you guys this month, where you've maybe said or done something, maybe in the heat of the moment, maybe you said something cruel, and this person's just not moving past this because they're reading into it somewhat, and they're trying to get back a little bit of control. Now, if they keep doing that, I do think that there is a probability that this person can either go into a tower mode or a star mode. They'll either be hopeful for the situation or it'll come crumbling down. It really depends on the energy. Some of you are going to be taking up with a new water sign this month, possibly somebody younger. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so there's Leo energy in your cards as well. Some of you may be holding on to a memory of a Leo, or you're being defensive against a Leo. You just see this energy, you know, your chest is tight. Yeah, some of you have got a fire sign coming up. This may also represent you guys taking control when two of you are at a deadlock. When nobody's moving, you gotta trust the Aries to step it up and move forward. If you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, you can leave it as it is. I don't think there'll be much movement if you leave it as it is. I don't see you dealing with people this month that are very active, unless you are dealing with another fire sign, in which case the communication may be more straightforward. If you're not dealing with another fire sign, these people ain't moving. And I sort of see you may have to actually ask this water sign why they're so peeved at you or why they're so confusing. And as for the earth sign, I think you're going to hear from them towards the end of June. If they are ignoring you, if there's an energy that's ignoring you, someone that's not communicating, it could happen. One thing I will say though, Aries, is if you're dealing with someone who did something very, 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 and I mean very unkind on you, if you were in a relationship where someone had somebody else on the side, I wouldn't recommend communicating with this person because they seem very deceitful in general. So if you've done something where you want to apologize, by all means do that. I'm not so sure about the earth sign being wildly receptive right now. Give it time, it may change. Mars, your ruler, does go retrograde at the end of the month, and there may be a period of returns for people, especially people that you've fallen out with, because Mars is that energy where you have the fight, and when it goes retrograde, I feel like you could be recovering some ground with somebody that you need to build a bridge with. However, there's still hope with the water sign person if you want it, because you know Aries love a challenge. I feel like this person's kind of challenging, but they're definitely a bit hard to read. So I actually really want to hear in the comments what you're going to do about the people that you're having difficulty with, Aries, if there are people in your life that this resonates with. But I will leave it there. So thank you for all your likes and subscriptions, and I will see you in July. Bye!